Faith is the foundation of every meaningful connection we form in life, especially when it comes to identifying the person God has chosen to walk beside us as a life partner. It's no coincidence that faith is central to recognizing divine guidance. It is the lens through which we see God's hand at work in our lives. Often we are so consumed by our desires, timelines, and expectations that we overlook the subtle yet powerful ways God is trying to direct us. Faith helps us slow down, tune in, and trust that His plan is greater than anything we could orchestrate on our own. When you walk in faith, you begin to notice things differently. Situations that seem confusing start to make sense. Encounters that felt random suddenly appear purposeful. Faith enables you to see beyond surface level impressions and discern the deeper meaning behind the people God places in your path. It's in these moments of clarity that you realize God is always working, always positioning the right people to step into your life at the perfect time. But faith isn't just about recognizing the signs, it's about preparing yourself to receive them. You see, God doesn't bring blessings into chaos. He prepares the blessing and the recipient simultaneously. When you remain rooted in faith, you allow God to shape your character, refine your heart, and align your desires with His will. And in that process, you become more attuned to the signs He provides. Faith also teaches patience, and patience is critical when waiting for God's chosen partner. Often we feel tempted to take matters into our own hands, believing that if we don't act, we'll miss out. But faith reminds us that God is never late and He is never in a hurry. He operates outside the constraints of time, and His timing is always perfect. Trusting in this truth allows us to let go of anxiety and rest in the assurance that God is working all things together for our good. Another profound aspect of faith is its ability to cultivate peace in the midst of uncertainty. When you are walking by faith, even when you don't yet see the full picture, there's an unshakable confidence that God is leading you exactly where you need to go. This peace becomes an anchor for your soul, helping you navigate. Through faith, you come to understand that God's chosen partner for you will not feel forced or chaotic. The connection will carry a divine sense of ease and alignment, not because it is free of challenges, but because it is infused with God's grace. Faith allows you to trust this process, to let go of fear and doubt, and to confidently step into the blessings that God has already prepared for you. So when you walk in faith, you are not just waiting for signs, you are living in expectation of them. Faith is the doorway through which God reveals His divine plan for your life, including the one He has chosen to journey beside you. Trust Him, stay aligned, and let His guidance lead you. When God brings someone into your life as your chosen partner, one of the most profound and undeniable signs is the deep spiritual connection you feel. This connection goes beyond mere chemistry or shared interests. It's something sacred, rooted in a place far deeper than the surface. It's as if your souls recognize each other in a way that words cannot fully capture. This connection brings a sense of peace, not just in the mind, but also in the spirit, affirming that this relationship is aligned with God's divine purpose for your life. You see, a true spiritual connection is not just about how you feel when you're with that person, but about what you sense when you meet the person God has chosen for you. There is an alignment in values, priorities, and faith. It's not forced or manufactured. It's natural and effortless because both of you are walking the same path. This connection doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of God's hand at work, preparing your hearts and aligning your journeys long before you even meet. What's truly remarkable about this connection is the way it brings a sense of divine order into your life. You'll notice that the relationship doesn't pull you away from God, but draws you closer to Him. Together you feel inspired to grow spiritually, to serve more passionately, and to walk boldly in your purpose. It's as if being with this person strengthens your faith and reinforces your calling rather than distracting you from it. This is because God's chosen partner is not just meant to walk beside you in life, but to partner with you in fulfilling His purpose for your life. This kind of connection also fosters a deep sense of peace, even amidst challenges. It's not that everything will be perfect or that there won't be obstacles to overcome, but the foundation of the relationship will be solid because it's built on God's principles. There's a shared understanding that God is at the center, and that makes all the difference. This peace is a confirmation that the relationship is not just a product of human effort, but of divine orchestration. What's more, a spiritual connection is marked by mutual respect and understanding. There's no need to prove yourself or pretend to be someone you're not. With this person, you can be authentic, knowing that you are fully seen and accepted for who you are. And in this authenticity, you discover a level of intimacy and trust that reflects God's love, a love that is patient, kind, and enduring. This kind of connection is rare, and it's something only God can create. It's not about searching desperately for it, but about positioning yourself to receive it when it comes. When you encounter this connection, you'll know, not because of fleeting emotions, but because your spirit will bear witness to it. It will feel like home, a place where you are safe, loved, and encouraged to become everything God has called you to be. One of the most profound ways God confirms His plan for your life is through prayer and the peace that follows. When it comes to recognizing the person God has chosen as your life partner, prayer becomes the bridge that connects you to His wisdom and direction. It's through prayer that you see clarity, guidance, and assurance. And when God responds, it's not always through a loud voice or dramatic signs. It's often through a deep, unshakable peace that settles in your heart. When you approach God in prayer, you're not just asking for answers, you're aligning your heart with His will. This alignment is critical because it shifts your perspective from what you think you need to what God knows is best for you. You're no longer making decisions based solely on emotions or external pressures, but on the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are walking in obedience to God's plan. This confidence is what allows you to discern between what is merely good and what is truly God's best. As you pray, you'll notice that God's confirmation often comes in stages. At first, He may give you small affirmations, little moments that resonate deeply in your spirit and make you pause. It could be the way a conversation unfolds, the peace you feel when you're with the person, or how their actions reflect Christ-like character. Over time, as you continue to pray and seek His guidance, these affirmations become clearer and more consistent. It's as if God is gently weaving together a tapestry of signs, each thread reinforcing His will for your life. The peace that accompanies this process is another critical indicator of God's involvement. This peace is not the absence of questions or uncertainties, but rather a sense of calm assurance that transcends those uncertainties. It's a peace that says, even if I don't have all the answers right now, I trust that God is in control. When you are with the person God has chosen for you, this peace will be present, not because the relationship is without challenges, but because God's hand is evident in it. It's a peace that quiets doubts and silences fears, allowing you to move forward with confidence. Prayer also opens the door for God to reveal any red flags or areas of concern. If there's something you need to be cautious about, God will bring it to your attention. He may do this through His Word, through wise counsel from others, or through a lack of peace that signals you to pause and reevaluate. This is why it's so important to remain in constant communication with him. Prayer isn't just a one-time request. It's an ongoing conversation that keeps your heart attuned to his voice. When you pray with sincerity and faith, God responds. And when his peace accompanies that response, it is his way of saying, this is the path I have prepared for you. Trust that peace. It is God's confirmation, his reassurance that you are exactly where he wants you to be. When God has chosen someone to be your life partner, one of the clearest signs is the alignment of life purpose and values. This alignment isn't accidental. It is intentional, divinely orchestrated to ensure that both of you can walk together in harmony. You see, a relationship ordained by God isn't just about companionship. It's about partnership. It's about two people coming together with a shared vision and complementary strengths to fulfill the purpose God has placed in each of their lives. Purpose is what gives your life direction. It's the reason you wake up each day with a sense of calling and motivation. When God brings two people together, he doesn't erase their individual purposes. Instead, he brings them into alignment so they can enhance and support one another. This doesn't mean that both of you will have identical goals or callings, but it does mean that your purposes will complement each other in ways that only God could design. For instance, where one is strong, the other may provide balance. Where one has vision, the other may bring strategy. Together you create a synergy that propels both of you toward God's ultimate plan for your life. When values align, it becomes easier to navigate the journey ahead. Values are the foundation of every decision you make, the principles that guide your actions and choices. When you share core values with someone, you'll find that you agree on the things that truly matter, whether it's your faith, your commitment to family, your dedication to service, or your approach to finances. Having shared values creates unity and reduces conflict. This alignment allows you to build a life together on a firm foundation because you're moving in the same direction. But alignment of purpose and values isn't something you can manufacture. It's not about trying to mold someone into your ideal partner or forcing compatibility where it doesn't exist. It's something that God reveals naturally as you get to know the person. You'll begin to see how your dreams align, how your passions complement each other, and how your priorities reflect the same heart for God's will. This kind of alignment feels effortless, not because it doesn't require work, but because it flows from a place of divine connection. What's beautiful about God's chosen partner is how they will challenge and inspire you to grow. They won't let you settle for mediocrity or drift away from your purpose. Instead, they'll push you to aim higher, to dream bigger, and to walk more boldly in faith. And you'll do the same for them, because that's what alignment looks like. It's mutual, intentional, and rooted in love. When you experience this alignment, you'll know it's more than coincidence. It's God showing you that he has brought someone into your life who not only loves you, but also aligns with the purpose he has designed for you. Together, you will accomplish far more than you ever could alone. When God has chosen someone to be your partner, one of the unmistakable signs is the consistency and fruitfulness of the relationship. A relationship aligned with God's will is marked by a steady rhythm, a stability that fosters growth and transformation. It's not chaotic or filled with constant uncertainty. Instead, it brings clarity, peace. This consistency is a reflection of God's character. He is not the author of confusion, but of order. And when he orchestrates something, it bears the marks of his divine touch. Consistency in a relationship doesn't mean there won't be challenges. Every relationship will face its share of tests and trials. But the difference lies in how those challenges are approached. In a God-ordained relationship, the foundation is strong, and the two of you work through difficulties with grace and understanding. There's no emotional roller coaster, No guessing games. No wondering where you stand. Instead, there's a sense of security, a mutual commitment to building something lasting and meaningful. When God is at the center, the relationship bears fruit. And by fruit, I don't just mean external success or material blessings, although those may come in time. I'm talking about the kind of fruit that reflects spiritual growth, emotional maturity, and mutual edification. You begin to see evidence of the relationship producing love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are not just abstract qualities. They manifest in how you treat one another, how you communicate, and how you walk each other's journeys. A fruitful relationship is one that brings out the best in both of you. It challenges you to grow closer to God, to deepen your faith, and to pursue your purpose with greater clarity. It's not about perfection, but about progress, about becoming more of who God has called you to be because of the person He has placed in your life. When a relationship is fruitful, you'll find that you are more patient, more forgiving, and more willing to serve. These aren't just changes that happen within you, they ripple outwards, impacting your family, your community, and even your ministry. Another hallmark of consistency and fruitfulness is how the relationship aligns with God's principles. A relationship that bears God's blessing will never require you to compromise your values or go against His word. Instead, it will encourage you to live out those principles more fully. This is a relationship where respect, honesty, and integrity are not optional. They are the standard. And because of this, the relationship becomes a testimony of God's goodness, a beacon of light to others who witness it. You'll know the relationship is from God, not just by how it feels, but by the evidence it produces. A tree is known by its fruit, and a God-ordained relationship will always produce good fruit. It will be steady, grounded, and life-giving. Trust the process and watch as God's plan unfolds, bringing blessings beyond what you could ever imagine. Patience is a virtue that is often tested, especially when it comes to waiting on God's timing. But when you understand that divine timing is perfect, it transforms how you approach relationships. God doesn't operate on human schedules or deadlines. His plan unfolds in a way that aligns with His greater purpose for your life. This is why it's so important to trust Him, even when the wait feels long or uncertain. God's timing isn't just about bringing the right person into your life. It's also about ensuring that you are ready to receive them. You see, waiting isn't wasted time. It's a season of preparation, a time for growth and refinement. In this waiting period, God is working on your heart, shaping your character and aligning your desires with His will. He's also doing the same for the person He has chosen for you. Imagine the beauty of two people being prepared separately, yet intentionally to come together at just the right moment. This process requires patience, not because God is withholding, but because He is perfecting. Impatience can lead to missteps. When we try to rush ahead of God's plan, we risk settling for less than His best. We may become entangled in relationships that drain us instead of uplifting us, or find ourselves compromising our values out of fear of being alone. But when you trust in God's timing, you learn to discern the difference between what is good and what is God. You begin to understand that His delays are not denials, they are divine appointments. He knows what you need, when you need it, and how it fits into the bigger picture of your life. Divine timing also brings clarity. When you encounter the person God has chosen for you, it won't feel like you're forcing the pieces of a puzzle to fit. There will be an ease and a sense of alignment that reassures you this is the right person at the right time. And that clarity often comes after a season of waiting, where God has worked behind the scenes to prepare both of you for what's ahead. Patience isn't passive, it's active trust. While you wait, you are called to remain faithful, to continue pursuing your purpose, and to deepen your relationship with God. This is a time to focus on becoming the person God has called you to be, not just for the sake of a future relationship, but because your life itself is a reflection of His glory. The more you align with His will, the more you position yourself to recognize and receive His blessing. When God's timing unfolds, it will be undeniable. The connection, the alignment, the peace, it will all come together in a way that only He could orchestrate. And in that moment, you'll see why waiting was necessary, why patience was worth it, and why God's timing is always perfect. Trust Him, for He makes all things beautiful in their time.